You are an entrepreneur, you are an athlete, you're an investor, but for some goddamn reason, you seem to stay stuck in the same fundamental reality. You seem to stay even worse, you seem to stay stuck at the same financial reality. Now you will understand by the end of this video why that is exactly and how you're going to be able to rewire that completely. And no, this is not going to be about new business tactics, it's not going to be about new marketing, new sales, whatever it is. You already know all of this. You've read the books, you've taken the courses. This is not about that. This is literally how you're going to be able to apply quantum physics on your business, how you're going to be able to apply epigenetics on your business, how you're going to be able to completely rewire your brain thanks to neuroscience, and how it's going to completely change the outcomes in your business. What got you to the first level of income, whether it's 10K per month, 20K per month, or 30K per month, it's not the same thing that is going to allow you to get to the next level of income. First and foremost, I want you to understand that you are a spiritual radio, you are a spiritual television. What the fuck do I mean by that? Well, simply because every single reality that you have corresponds to a certain vibration. The same way you want a certain program to come and to be expelled by your radio, the same way you need to tune into a certain frequency. What do I mean by that? Well, the program of reality of 10K per month, for instance, has a corresponding frequency. In my case, it was being frustrated at my current situation, being angry, and I transmuted that anger and that excess frustration into taking a sheer massive amounts of action compared to all my peers that led me to build my business and therefore get to 10K per month. But it's not the same frequency or the same emotional state or vibration that got me to 64K per week, for instance. It was completely different on all three planes of existence. Because yes, if you have lived under a fucking rock, you're not just an entity of flesh. You're not a human being having a spiritual experience, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. You decided to incarnate into this constrained physical body or avatar body to play the physical game called Planet Earth 2026. Meaning what? Meaning that at your essence, you are infinite pure consciousness, and you go through a filter of consciousness, a filter of reality, allowing you to exude a certain type or to experience a certain type of reality. Therefore, if you want to change your reality, you need to change this filter of consciousness, body and mind. And this is where identity and the subconscious mind and vibration comes in. Olivier, can you tell us the difference between a few years back, your identity where you didn't have a business, how you felt on a day-to-day basis, what was your state of being, and what's today is completely drastically different in terms of identity, and that retranslate into drastic results monetary-wise?
So basically, I was completely programmed by the society. Initially, my plan was like, okay, I will be a lawyer. I think I will be happy if I find a job in a good law firm. And I was like, yeah, maybe I will be retired at 65 and it will be a good end. Now I'm 29. When I was like 24, 25, I met some real estate investor and something clicked in my mind because I saw all those big mansions. Immediately I started to connect with them and I asked them, how did you do that? They were like, young man, you need to deprogram yourself. You need to think outside the box. You don't need a degree. You don't need a long career. You need just the good contact. What matters the most is who you know, who knows you. And yeah, so basically, you have to have a good network. You have to give value to people, especially the more you climb the social ladder. So politics, diplomacy, real estate investor globally, the more you have to prove that you're worth something. In my case, back in 2022-23, I didn't have finances like I have now. I had a mindset on point. I had a huge imagination, and I was like, okay, I did 5 years in law school. I have a master's degree. I love politics. I know a little about spirituality. How can I combine all my assets to prove that I'm worth something? That's how it started.
Einstein himself said it. Imagination is more important than reason. Why is that? Well, reason is all the knowledge that you've accumulated, and you create neural pathways or a logical chain of events based on the knowledge that you've accumulated. So it's a very linear way of thinking, basically. But how can you expect to go from zero income to 100K per month in an amount of few short months or few short years with linear thinking. It doesn't work. That's why most people have too much of a linear thinking, basing themselves too much on the reason, and that's why their income is the same. It's linear. So when Einstein said that imagination is more important than reason, he actually mentioned, or he actually alluded to, intuition. Why? Because the more imagination you have, the more you're able to tap into these divine downloads and intuitions that will let you literally quantum jump into a new reality. If infinity has been created, this means what? This means that all realities have already been created. All realities, the Creator has created all realities. Therefore, you do not create your reality. You literally quantum jump your consciousness into parallel realities, depending on your identity. Because by quantum law and quantum physics, there cannot be a corresponding experience without a corresponding observer, meaning that there is an infinite amount of realities, therefore, by consequence, there are also an infinite amount of identities. So there is literally a millionaire version of you, there is a billionaire version of you, there is a 100K per month version of you, a 500K per month version of you, whether it's in your business or another business. That's not the point. The point is what is going to get you there is the identity. From the infinite amount of possibilities, you collapse and you materialize into this space-time dimension, a probable outcome depending on your consciousness, your state of being, or your identity. This is what they've proven with the observer effect, quantum entanglement, and the quantum atom in quantum physics. How then can you use exactly what Olivier said? It's his imagination that allowed him to quantum jump his consciousness into the reality that he has today. Without this vision, without feeling and making this imagination more real than the actual environment, you will always stay stuck in the physical environment. And that's the problem with most entrepreneurs, because unconsciously you are so attached to what got you to the first level of success, you hang on tightly to that level of vibration, that level of action, that level of thinking, that level of feeling. And this is why you stay stuck at that level. What you think is the benediction that got you there is actually the malediction that is keeping you stuck there and preventing you from getting to the next level. Therefore, you need to first immerse yourself into this desired reality or of the desired income, and then reverse engineer how you feel, how you think, how you speak, and how you act on a day-to-day basis. You don't need to do something drastically different. You can just start acting a different way, you can start thinking, speaking a different way, but every single time you do that, you are voting for the new identity and you're leaving the old identity behind.
Like Hugo said, there is a millionaire version of you, there is a billionaire version of you, and when God, the universe, the infinite intelligence put an idea within you, will you be bold enough to take massive action towards this goal, towards what you're seeing in your vision, in your dream? Because the main factor that will determine when you will be in 5 years, 10 years is the gap between the vision that God put it within you and your action, your massive action, but not only action, aligned identity towards your action.
Exactly. And how concretely can you start doing so? Most people think either of the past and they're stressed or they regret the past, or they think about the future and they're stressed and they're anxious about the future. How the fuck then, if you're constantly in fight or flight mode, because the stress hormone is the thing that puts you in the sympathetic nervous system, so if you're constantly in the fight or flight mode, how the fuck can you expect to materialize a different reality? When I say materialize, understand quantum jump, right? Because all realities has already been created. How then can you expect to quantum jump your consciousness into a more desirable and favorable reality? It's impossible. So what you start to... So what you need to start to do is, instead of thinking of the past or bothering yourself with the future that literally is not going to serve you, because you're literally recreating known future based on an undesirable past. Essentially, whenever you're thinking about the past and you're basing your actions, your thoughts, your way of thinking, your way of feeling based on the past, you're literally recreating the same vibratory signature into the universe. Therefore, you're creating a known future. Because if you always think of the past of, it worked this way back then, I'm going to redo that in the same way, then obviously you're recreating the same level of future. The alignment that Olivier just talked about, thoughts plus feelings plus actions plus speaking, are all the same, therefore creating the same reality. So what then do you need to do? You need to start being present in the moment. This is why all the spiritual teachings speak about first getting in the moment, in the now. Stop worrying about the future, stop trying to predict the future, and start expecting the best in the future. That is going to calm your mind, and you're going to be able to revert back into your parasympathetic nervous system, allowing you to be much more present instead of looking for every single threat in the environment. That's number one. Number two, when you're much more present in the environment, you can start closing your eyes, removing the external narrative, because again, you cannot create a new reality, or you cannot quantum jump your consciousness into a new reality if you let this current materialized reality define you, who is the causal plane. You need to first change a causal plane to be able to create or to attract or to reveal a new identity. So first and foremost, the easiest way is to start to meditate much more. Close yourself from the external environment which you dislike, and then create in your mind every single day and immerse yourself in this environment, and then observe yourself how you would act in this environment. Who is the version of yourself that already naturally has this environment? How at ease would he feel in this environment? And then start acting this way. This is how progressively over time you start to rewire how you feel, and therefore you rewire your energetic signature. And when you truly embody that new version of yourself, you cannot even fucking fathom what the ripple effects in your reality are. Because when you change one identity, you change dozens of mental paradigms, or what we call models of reality. When you change dozens of models of reality, you change hundreds of beliefs. When you change hundreds of beliefs, you change thousands of emotions. And those thousands of emotions, when they become more positive and you change them, you have a ripple effect on tens of thousands of micro attitudes, behaviors, and habits, which inevitably change drastically your results.
Once you embody the right identity, you will have a fight between the previous identity and your new identity. So your emotion, your imagination, your feeling have to be stronger than the previous identity. You will start to see people that come back out of nowhere. You will see girls, girlfriend, even some people that did you wrong in the past. Men, women, you have to be strong when you see something that come back of your past. You have to be like, okay, depending of your choice, your future you will be proud or ashamed of yourself. You have a strong power within you. Don't be stopped by social programming, by your limiting beliefs. You have to be so into your imagination that your physical reality doesn't bother you anymore, doesn't stop you anymore. You have to be so relaxed, detached, that people are like, what's your secret? What are you doing? You are so calm, you are so magnetic. How can I be like you? And the more you take action towards the new identity, the more you will attract new people, new opportunities, new circles that you thought in the past wasn't existing.
Everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. You are a walking energy field. If you do not exude the corresponding vibrational signature, how the fuck can you expect a program of reality, the desired program of reality, for you to come to you? If, for instance, you are on the frequency of anger, let's say, and it's the frequency on the radio, the spiritual radio, it's the frequency of 80, then you attract, I don't know, for instance, low-level aggressive rap, for instance. And then if you want, I don't know, classical music, then you need to up-level the frequency for the program of reality to come into your life. So remember that once you start embodying this, you're going to have challenges, because it's the universe way of testing you to see if you're really about that new identity. Keep the vision strong, be absolutely detached. When you saturate your mind with this new vision, reality progressively over time inevitably is going to collapse into this physical equivalent. It's quantum law, it's inevitable, so don't stress, don't worry, just keep focusing on the vision and align yourself every single day on doing that, and it's going to be easier and easier over time.
Be aligned, but at the same time detached. Don't be like, where, when, where, how. Let the universe do its work, and it will bless you.
You only have the human point of view. You do not have the infinite soul-like point of view. The universe knows what's best for you. It knows how the easiest way energetically for you to bring you the next level of income. So maybe it's going to be an investor, maybe it's going to be somebody who you meet with the corresponding attraction of vibrational resonance. Maybe it's going to be that you have a month where you explode, allowing you to reinvest in your business. Whatever it is, don't focus too much on the when and the how, focus on who you're being.